It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi there, and welcome to the Forum here on Eagle Community Television. Good to have you along. The Forum is brought to you by Hayes Medical Center and by Eagle Communications. Again, thanks for watching. Our guest today is J.T. Plummer, and J.T. is the commander of the VFW in the 9th District. And when we sit down talking here, how big is the 9th District, and what all do you have to do as commander of the 9th District?
Our post, we have posts in Victoria, to Sharon Springs, to St. Francis, and back to Phillipsburg.
Now you're pointing like you've been there before. Yeah. And that's quite a territory to cover here.
It's
but you've done this before. You've had quite a history with the VFW.
I was commander of the 9th District back in 2004, 2006. The first time. Then I went through the department chairs and was department commander in 2010, 2011. And went on the National Council of Administration in 2012. And in the 9th District, actually, we primarily just kind of like a supervisor anywhere. You're watching your posts, trying to keep them up to date on their reporting. If they get in trouble, to be there to answer any questions. You're kind of a supernumerary in a lot of ways, but yet.
What about the national level? You mentioned to me that you were on what would be, for all practical purposes, the national board for the VFW.
Yes, it's a council.
That had to be a learning experience.
It is, even though I've been a member of the VFW for nearly 40 years, and it has been a very, very much a learning experience going into the to the National Council. We have 53 members from our 53 departments around the world. Each state is a department. We have one for the Washington, D.C. area, one for the Pacific area, one for the European area, and one for the Asiatic area. So we have a cross-section of people, all ages, from all over the world, and with all different experiences, not only in the military, but in the VFW. So it's been really a learning experience.
Well, what is it, when I sit down and start talking to you, it's like you almost want to know more about what the VFW does. Obviously, it has to do with veterans.
Let's just cover some things here in the state of Kansas. Now, at one time, we had about 175 posts. We're down to 136 posts now. We have about 24,000 members statewide. We're a three-part organization, actually. We have the VFW, which is the basic Veterans of Foreign Wars. We have our Ladies Auxiliary Program, and our Men's Auxiliary Program. And these are people who are relatives related to direct descendants of a VFW member, and they provide tremendous support. Our men's organizations, for instance, here in Hayes, has helped revitalize the post. We do a lot of remodeling work. They do a lot of the cooking and this kind of stuff there. Our ladies support our endowment program, which is one of our scholarship programs, and they have their cancer fund, and a myriad of other things that I'm not a member of the Ladies Auxiliary.
Well, when you talk about doing this, the different groups, because I know you also support, as a VFW, kids as well, and you have some kids programs.
We have, again, a number of programs. Our primary purpose, of course, is veteran support, working to support our veterans through legislative activities, working with the VA hospitals, taking care of our veterans at the local level. One of the things we do in the district here is we arrange for people to have transportation to and from the VA hospitals. We have our NMS program, National Military Service. Operation Uplink has for a number of years now provided phone cards for our troops deployed and the ones in hospital like at Walter Reed and those places to call home. We have our Unmet Needs Program, which is basically a grant program when a parent, spouse is deployed and someone has problems with rent, utilities, this kind of a thing. They can apply for up to $2,500. The monies are paid directly to the utility company or to the rent company to help out the people there.
Well, one of the things I know when somebody serves in the military, it takes a toll on their family as well, and I think that's what you probably have found over the course of your experience.
It does.
It's the family that needs as much help there.
We have found that, well, for instance, in my case, I was on active duty for 23 years.
In what branch of the military?
Air Force.
Air Force.
And when my wife and I had been married 48 months, I'd lived at home 8 months. It was on the opposite side of that, once my deployments and stuff were over and I was home full time, it was an adjustment for both of us to go back through to be used to being together all this time. And we find this true for these people, that you find a young person, man or woman, deploys into combat. When they come home, they're not the same person. Sometimes the other spouse can adjust, and sometimes they can't. We have this, and I use the past President Bush's term, PTS, post-traumatic stress, is a major problem that we're working with. Some of our other programs, we have an Adopt a Unit program. For instance, our post at Hayes, my post in Stockton, we've adopted the National Guard unit from Smith Center. We go there, visit with them, try to tell them about their benefits from the VA, their government benefits. And
so it's an informative thing where you have the information.
We go in there,
that you
of
help.
course we're recruiting also. Membership continues to be a problem in all of our organizations. We have the majority of our VFW members today, I believe, are between 70 and 80 years old.
Well, you know, you and I were talking before, because that's one of the challenges that the VFW has, is trying to find a new way to touch and reach some of the new soldiers and the new veterans that are out there, and helping them be involved with the program for the next generation.
Well, so that's a recruiting thing that we do there, and we'll usually go in and 2 years ago we did Thanksgiving dinner for them. This last year we did a 4th of July type picnic thing for them and it's fun to go meet these young troops, listen to their experiences, and
how much different, and this is kind of a side note to this, but how much different were their experiences from yours?
Actually, there's probably more similarities than there are differences. The uniforms changed, the mission has changed, but it's still the same group of people that are there for one another.
Well, we're going to take a break, JT, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about a grant program that's out here that you're going to be working on some things going forward, and then talk a little bit about, on the national level, there's some new Facebook things, or not Facebook, but internet things that people are available to get. So we'll talk about that when we come back from our break. Again, our guest is JT Plummer. JT is the commander of the VFW post and the District 9. It's located here in Hayes and around Western Kansas. Back with more after this.
Youthful body, tight tummy, smooth facial lines. Greystone Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery is here to help you achieve your goals and give yourself the new look you've always wanted. Greystone offers sophisticated surgical and non-surgical cosmetic procedures. With services now available locally, there's no need to wait any longer. Contact Greystone Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery at Hayes Medical Center today, or online at greystonecosmetic.hayesmed.com.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to the second half of our forum program. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, suggestions, let me know. Gary.Shorman@eaglecom.net. We record this live every Monday afternoon at our Dillon store location. You can always stop by and see us record and bring your suggestions in person. Our program is brought to you by Hayes Med, and our guest is JT Plummer. JT is the commander of the VFW District Number 9, which covers Hayes and Western Kansas. And JT, one of the things I was surprised about is how many different programs the VFW is involved with. They're really a bunch of programs, and you had some others we haven't even talked about.
In addition to the ones we touched on before, we've got our hospital volunteer program. We just recognized a lady at the Rooks County Medical Center for 15,000 hours volunteer time. There were teachers awards, the 3 different education levels, K through 6, 6 through 8, and high school, national awards, firefighter award, law enforcement awards. 2 very important youth programs, our Voice of Democracy program and our Patriots Pin program. Voice of Democracy is for high school students, and they can win up to a $30,000 scholarship. And
Am I too old to win that?
Yes. And honestly, you and I wouldn't stand a chance competing against
We'd
the
be in
youngsters.
trouble right
Oh,
from the
Lord.
start, yeah.
I'd say when I went to the last VOD banquet, I asked, why do I have to speak after the guest speaker, the VOD winner? Our Patriots Pen is, like I say, for the younger students, and they're given a topic from National that they have to develop. What it means to be a patriot. Why should I serve in the military? Some topic like that they discuss. Have an endowment program, which is state funded. I mean, by the Department of Kansas funded. That gives scholarships. We give this year we gave 20, I believe, 2 to 4 year scholarships in varying amounts, and that's sponsored primarily, principally by our Ladies Auxiliary. They usually outdraw us pretty much on getting money into that. We have our surgeons program. The various posts we have medical equipment, crutches, wheelchairs, motorized scooters, and stuff that the various posts that can be issued and used in the community, not necessarily by a veteran, but whoever needs them. And of course, we're involved in the legislative activities. We have the KCVA, the Kansas Commission of Veterans Activities, that we interface with. We have a grant from the state of Kansas to fund veteran services officers to do primarily intake and interviews in our 3 VA hospitals in Wichita, Topeka, and Leavenworth. And and we have our DC visits where we storm the Hill every year.
You also have a grant program that's designed to help veterans find jobs as well.
Yes, and that's a relatively new program, and I am not that familiar with it. I have not had the opportunity to work with that. It's that and the Student Veteran Outreach Program is where we go into to go into the veterans groups on campus, and to here again provide them information on their rights and benefits and job opportunities. And I have not had the opportunity to work with that, but the monies are there, and it is a sponsored program.
Well, let's if somebody has a question about that, can they stop by the VFW here in town and get an answer to that? Or what's the best way for them to find you?
Actually, probably the best way would be to go on VFW.org and look under programs, or they could go under KSVFW.org and look under programs. Either one of those. The first one would be the national level, and the second one would be the department level, and that would be a good place to start.
And there's also an 800 number that you want to give everybody, because
Well,
somebody may be a veteran out there that may want some information.
Actually,
in general.
the place to start for our local veterans here be contact the post, Commander Chris Stegman over there. Stop by James Motor Company. I'll do a little advertising here. Stan Drilling down there.
Stan does a great
Stan
job.
does a tremendous job. He's a past post commander. He can start them on the right track. If they can't find Stan, Danny back in the service department's the same way. He's a past commander, so either one of them could that'd be the best place to start here.
But on the national level, there's some other things going on. I know that the 800 number, where does that
That
go?
was to our National Home for Children.
Okay.
We have this National Home for Children is in Eaton Rapids, Michigan. We have 42 single-family units there. We have dormitories, we have guest quarters, administrative things, and it's for military spouses, families, for when they're deployed. We can also, if both parents are deployed, we can take care of the children there. We have, it was a donated farm given to us back in 1924, 472 acres. Our campus is, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 acres. They farm the rest of it. Beautiful campus, beautiful homes. Kansas has a home there that the VFW supports. And we have a family there at the present time. I don't know their makeup. That's kept completely confidential. But they have training for the parents that are living there. The programs for the children, daycare. They even have their own private fishing pond for the kids to fish in. It's a beautiful campus. I would encourage anyone to visit.
So what is that number?
That number is 800-424-8360.
Well, we'll put that number up on the screen as well. And again, that's for the family and the kids area. Is that correct?
Yeah. And one thing that we have recently now started in the local area here is my quartermaster and I have attended the Rooks County Commissioners meetings. And Rooks County, as you know, built a new hospital 2 or 3 years ago. The old facility is structurally sound, and there's a movement to try to convert it into a soldier's home to serve northwest Kansas, as Dodge City does southwest Kansas.
That'd be interesting and very, very useful.
It'd be a long-term project, but it's something that we're very definitely interested in doing, and we can.
Well, JT, thanks for joining us today on our program, and I'm amazed at what all the VFW does, and thanks for your leadership in making that happen.
And if they, if they want to contact me, anybody that has any questions, please feel free to do so, and we'll see what we can do. I may not have the answer, but I'll see if I can find it.
Well, JT, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
JT Plummer has been our guest here today. He is the District 9 Commander for the VFW, based out of Hays, Kansas. Thanks for watching our program. The forum is brought to you by Hays Medical Center and by Eagle Communications. Our community connected.
Youthful body, tight tummy, smooth facial lines. Greystone Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery is here to help you achieve your goals and give yourself the new look you've always wanted. Greystone offers sophisticated surgical and non-surgical cosmetic procedures. With services now available locally, there's no need to wait any longer. Contact Greystone Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery at Hays Medical Center today or online at greystonecosmetic.haysmed.com.